first swing, just as golfers had done on this spot for centuries. He was tempted to try something new, to blurt, "Long and strong," or "high and mighty," but he held back. His father might take offence, might turn into one of those stern Old Testament fathers he was starting to resemble. So Tommy mumbled, "Fan sure," and watched the old man draw back the driver to start the slow clockwork swing that all St. Andrew's golfers knew, laying the hickory shaft almost flat across his shoulders at the top, starting down slow as honey, and then whipping the head of the club through the ball, which took off toward the white flag in the distance. Tom squinted as he followed its flight. Nodding, he reached into his jacket for his pipe and pouch. He tapped a few tobacco leaves into the pipe's bowl, lit a match, and breathed blue smoke. Mum detested that smoke, but Tommy loved it, the sweet reek of his father. Tom stood 5'7", a bit above average for a Scotsman of his time, but in Tommy's eyes he loomed larger. Tom Morris was the champion golfer of Scotland. He was the hero of St. Andrews, the only man who could beat the golfing brutes of Musselburgh. He was official keeper of these famous 4 miles of turf, the links of St. Andrews. Beloved by all men, excepting jealous golf professionals, several red-coated gentlemen of the Royal and Ancient Golf Club, and the Musselburgh brutes, he was a pious churchman who was not above joking and drinking with foul-smelling caddies. Tom Morris was these great things, and one more. He was the one golfer Tommy was dying to beat. Not to humble him, never that, but to be more like him, not as a rival, but more like an equal, more like a man. Tommy was nearly as tall as his father, and suspected he would soon be stronger, and the more he grew, the more he believed that a boy needs to make his own name in the world. He needs to be more than his father's caddy. With such thoughts in his head, and the scent of tobacco in his nose, Tommy took the driver from his father's hand. He took a pinch of sand from the box, knelt to make a sand tee for his ball, and then stood tall, waving the driver back and forth. His swing was short and fast. Bang! Tommy's drives didn't always go straight, but a few went farther than his father's. This one sailed past the other ball before it bounced near Swilcan Burn, the brook that curled past the putting green. Tommy was thrilled. How many lads could hit a ball so far? How many grown men could? His father was less impressed. Long or short didn't matter so much to Tom Morris. Position mattered. Tommy's drive was long, but too far to the left. Tom checked his pocket watch as he set off toward the green. A minute later he was hitting again. Without a word he took the wooden niblick from Tommy and slapped a low approach that the wind could not catch. His ball cleared the burn by a safe 5 yards and rolled to the back of the green. Tommy faced a harder shot. There was no easy play from the left side. The only way to stop the ball near the hole would be a high, soft pitch, the opposite of the usual approach. But no one attempted such shots with the shallow-faced clubs of the day. Tommy had tried hitting shots from flat ground with his rut iron, a lofted club made for lifting a ball out of cart or wheelbarrow ruts. He found that he could make the ball drop and stop. Not every time. You had to strike it just right, or you'd foozle the shot. But when it worked, the ball came down like a snowflake. He waggled the rut iron. His father looked surprised. Tommy liked seeing that. He drew the club back, keeping his hands high, then yanked them straight down, chopping the rut iron's heavy head into the turf. He grunted. Dirt flew. The ball squirted along the ground, bouncing before it splished into the burn. He dropped the rut iron. Damned useless stick. He lost the hole. His father moved to the second teeing ground a few yards away. There was no sandbox here. You fished a bit of sand from the bottom of the hole in the first green. Tom Morris fashioned his sand tee, then pulled his driver back over his shoulder, tick, and whipped it smoothly to the ball. Tock. But this ball flew low. It was a scalded cat, a near miss that skipped along the ground. On dry days a scalded cat would run out of sight, but this one kicked up dew and stopped only 120 yards out. Tommy took his pinch of sand from the bottom of the first hole, made a perch for his ball. His father watched him take his stance. Was he aiming for Cheap's bunker? No sane golfer tried to clear that crater, not without a gale at his back, and the wind was across. Tom shook his head. The boy was his own worst enemy. But Tommy